Hey, welcome to On the Porch. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Todd and joined as always by my friend Ken. Ken, how you doing?
Buddy, I'm doing great, man. Couldn't be better right now. How about
Well,
yourself?
doing good. Ken, I don't have any big scientific topics for us to talk about this week because I hadn't watched any kind of videos. So I guess we're going to be talking about the dust collection in our workshops because that's what my focus was this week. And so,
Oh, was it? Yeah.
yeah. So tell us what you know about dust collection.
Well, what I know about dust collection is I'm old fashioned, man. I get the
Yeah.
old broom.
Yeah.
You get the broom and the broom and sweep it right out the door.
Yeah.
Maybe use dustpan.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been trying to use my shop vac and the separator and stuff. So when I run my table saw, just dust goes
Mm.
everywhere. I mean, I got some of Holly's little whatnots and things to sit out there because they was always calling those dust collectors, but they don't really help either. It still gets everywhere. I figured it would all be attracted to those things, but
Yeah.
it didn't really help very much at all. But
Man, I saw a video where they were sanding the ceiling.
mhm.
They had like the old popcorn ceiling,
Yes,
and they were sanding that, but they had a dust collector attached to the end of the sanding pole.
yeah, I've seen
And it
those.
was like no mess. I'm like, buddy, that's the way to go right there if
Yeah,
I was doing that.
yeah, I've seen those. That's the only reason we have popcorn ceilings upstairs in the house, and that's the only reason they're still there is because of the mess.
Yeah.
So hey, Holly, hey, Gene, thanks for hopping in. If you notice, I'm one less guitar
Oh
back there.
no.
Yeah, yeah.
What
Um,
what happened to it, man?
Looking at dust collection, I knew my shop vac I had was totally inadequate. It's just a small little one, so I needed to upgrade it. And the one I wanted, I think it was like $140, and then whatever tax was going to be, so like $155 or so, you know. And so I just didn't want to like pull it out of the account and go buy something like that. So I'm like, what do I have around here that I can liquidate? And and that one guitar rarely ever got touched. And so yesterday, I think it was yesterday, no, day before yesterday, I put it up Facebook Marketplace and had a had a guy bite on it today and bought it. And then just pretty much as soon as he gave me the money, I ran to Lowe's and bought me a real shop vac,
Yeah,
and
things change, don't they?
yeah, and yeah, I got the DeWalt Stealth Sonic shop vac, which is amazing. If you have to buy one, buy it. It runs at 52 decibels. It is
You know,
not screaming loud at all.
oh, so it's not loud? Okay.
No, no.
Need to brush up on my decibel
Yeah,
meter.
here, let me pull up this chart here, um, and read it because it's amazing. Because the one I had was like you know, hang on, I got the wrong thing. Um, the one I had was so loud; it was like probably louder than my table saw, really,
Mm.
and it was just a
Is it
little too much.
is it got the decibels for the wife when she screams at you when you spilled coffee on the carpet? Is
Uh,
that one on there?
no, 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 no. It's not. It's not like that at all. But man, I can't find one now for nothing. And
Okay.
but I know a regular shop vac is like 80 to 90 decibels, which
Mm-hmm.
is like almost a constant screaming with your voice.
Mm-hmm.
And 52 decibels is more like a normal conversation, best I remember.
Okay.
And so it's really noticeable. In fact, if you turn it on in the garage and walk into the house, as soon as you shut the door, you can't hear it run at all.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and that
Is it,
makes
is that
life
kind of,
a whole lot easier.
is that kind of like when the tree falls in the forest and you
Yeah,
shut the door? Is your shop back really making the noise or
right,
not?
right. And what's cool? It's like all insulation and whatever to keep the motor down, and it's like because I watch a lot of YouTube videos especially when I buy something to see what the best thing is.
Yeah.
And it's like the performance of it is incredible as well. So
Is it a wet vac as
yeah,
well?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
yeah. It's just a regular wet dry vac.
Yeah.
So
Well, you don't need a wet vac that often, but when you need it, man, you need it.
yeah. Well, I'm gonna be using mine a lot because collecting dust. I bought this switch that I plug in my shop vac into and turn it on, and then I plug my table saw into it, and then plug that switch into a regular cord. So anytime I turn on my table saw, it automatically turns on my shop vac.
Oh, okay.
And then when I turn off my table saw, my shop vac runs for 3 seconds to kind of clear everything out, and then it shuts off.
Oh,
So,
buddy,
yeah,
you got a real shop out there, don't you?
I'm fancy now.
You are.
So,
I have a Craftsman shop vac, and I hardly ever use it. But the last time I used it, I used to have a Hummer H3, and I left the windows down and the sunroof open during a rainstorm once. Didn't know it till I went out to go to work the next day, and I could have put fish in there.
Yeah.
they could live. So I had to get the shop back, man, and I went ahead and went on to work. And there was water in the floorboard and everything, and went to work. But I come home and sucked it out and dried all the carpet the best I could with it, and it worked out all right. But it was good for that. That was the only thing that would have worked.
I remember years ago in the very first house I ever bought, the pantry was right next to the back door, and somehow, I don't know how it happened, somehow the Tupperware thing of sugar fell into the floor. And it was an older house we lived in, and it had this real small pile carpet in there, It was almost like not a pile at all, just like as flat as could be, but it was carpet. So I was like, well, I kind of was scooping it up a little bit, and I thought, I'll get my shop vac. And I don't know, it was like the world's cheapest shop vac at the time. And so I had it in there, and I'm like, what's that noise? And I was looking, and it was sucking up the sugar, but then it was blowing the sugar out the back through the air vent. And it was hitting the cabinet. So I ended up setting the shop vac outside on the deck and running the hose in and just let it blow all out on the deck because it didn't have a good filter on it. But
well, do you have anything? What are you going to build next out there in your shop, man? Do you have anything on the horizon?
Yes, I do. In fact, I should have had this ready for picture time, but I know I can pull this one up real fast. Because I know exactly where it's at. But yeah, I got a cabinet down here that I'm wanting to build for Christmas clatter. And I got that old stereo console we've talked about many a times upstairs for, for playing records on. And I got a stereo down here, a record player down here, but it's just a turntable with a stereo and speakers. It's not all one unit like that. Stereo console is and things, but yeah, let me get this pulled up. We'll go ahead and get into picture time here.
All right.
And I'll pull this up and get it sized, but I'm wanting to build this a mid-century looking table for here it is.
Man, we're going to have to fire that projector operator.
I'm telling you, man.
There
We're going to have to fire him.
You going to build that?
I'm going to build this. And,
oh, dude, I'm jealous of that, man.
And
that's nice.
Yeah, I'm going to build that for down here, and you can tell the cubby holes there, are the perfect size to stack your records in. And then I can put my stereo in there and the turntable on top, and then I'm just going to put the speakers on the top shelf on both ends.
Do you already have your turntable and stereo?
Oh, yeah. I have it down here. I had it. Okay. That's what I used before I got that stereo console.
Okay.
So, yeah. And
that'd be great, man. What kind of wood you going to make it out of?
At first I thought about getting like some walnut or something and paneling it together because it's 15 inches deep on the shelves there.
Mm-hmm.
But I think what I'm going to do instead of doing that is get some like birch, like 3/4 inch birch plywood,
Mm-hmm.
and then maybe trim the edges to hide the ugly plywood ends, and maybe trim the edges in like a darker walnut color or something like that. So it'd be a little bit light and dark.
Yeah.
So something like that. I'm not sure. So I would like
You
to
gonna
make.
put you gonna put it on casters, or you gonna put legs on it?
No, I'm gonna put legs on it. I'm gonna put legs on it. Those legs look like they run the full length of the
They do.
cabinet, and I kind of like that idea. So I'm gonna do that. So
Nice.
yeah, yeah. In fact, this is from a store. This picture's from a store that
Mhm.
also put all the dimensions in the description.
Oh, did it?
Yeah. So I'm like,
Uh,
thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. It'll be the perfect size.
Yeah. So
Now, I built something like that. It was just about like that, but I painted it at our
uh-huh.
other house. Nashville was built. Our house was built in 1940, but
Uh-huh.
uh, we still like the mid-century modern
Uh-huh.
stuff. But back then, I had a lot of CDs,
Uh-huh.
and so I made the shelves weren't that tall where an album would fit in. They were just where you could put CDs in there,
Uh-huh.
and but I had it sitting on legs like made of galvanized pipe, like fence posts, like the
Yep.
chain link fence. That was the legs, and then I had the thing that would screw into the floor that was like I think you call them a flange.
Uh-huh.
You screw it into the floor, and then the pipe screws into the flange,
Yeah.
and then
Oh yeah.
put one on the bottom of it
Yeah.
for legs. It was pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
I liked
That
it.
is nice. That's a good stable base too when you do that.
Hmm.
So, but yeah.
But I still screwed it to the wall though.
Yeah.
I didn't trust it, man. It was too. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I get that. I do that a lot of times. It's like just one little oomph on some things and then everything goes
Mhm.
over. I think that's why I like tables and cabinets so much is they're usually wide and long, so you don't have to worry about that as bad. And
Right.
then if it's a little wobbly, you just say, well, the floor's unlevel is what its problem is. You know. But yeah, that's what
Well, that's
it is.
nice, man.
Yeah. That's while we're here, remember we talked about that turtle I caught?
Yes, you
If
catching the
yeah, the
ferocious.
alligator snapper turtle with my bare hands. And if you
Mhm.
guys didn't see that on social medias this week, here's a picture of that alligator snapper I caught.
See
Yep.
that's funny, but that's not what we were talking. But you pulled one over my eyes, man, because you said, "Oh, I picked up a snapping turtle by my hands," and I'm like, "Buddy,
Yeah.
Todd's braver
I
braver than I
I
thought."
will tell you that thing was snapping at me, and its neck does get to. You see where my fingers are? That's behind halfway of its shell. Because if I had
Mhm.
him any closer, that little guy was going to get him. And I
Yeah,
know he's
okay.
little. I still didn't want him getting a hold of my finger. You know.
No, Lord
And
no.
yeah. In fact, I was over at my mom's mowing. You can kind of see the lawnmower up behind me.
Mhm.
And and saw something out of the corner of my eye blow over. I was like, "What was that?" Because he's dark, and I saw a little turtle. I
Hmm.
guess the
Yeah,
wind from the lawnmower blew him, and
yeah.
I went and picked him
You
up.
know,
So,
those things are in the water, man. I mean, have you ever seen the guys that go, what they call it,
uh-huh.
grappling, where they go underwater and reach back up into the roots and
Yeah.
under rocks or whatever and catch catfish with their hands?
Oh yeah, yeah.
What if you grabbed a hold of one of those?
I know.
That'd be my fear, dude.
That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking, man. It's just I don't want to be out there with that at
Yeah, the
all.
next time I see somebody doing that, I'm gonna say, let me see you count to 10 on your fingers.
Yeah,
See if you cut
absolutely,
off 10.
absolutely. But yeah, that's that's
So are
well,
we talking about the wildlife? Is this the wildlife
I guess we're stuck
wild?
on the wildlife for some reason. We get in fits and spells on different things. We are talking about that before the show started. It's just kind of like, well, are we going to talk about Christmas? And it's like, because a little insider baseball, when me and Ken started this, I was like, Ken, you have a Christmas podcast. I have a Christmas podcast. So when we do On the Porch, which is not a Christmas specific podcast, let's not talk about Christmas so much because people hear us talk about it all the time. Well, we're both such Christmas nuts and fans. It just works itself in. And Ken asked me, he's like, are we going to talk about Christmas this time or not? And I was like, Ken, I think I'm done with that rule because it's just part of who we are. And it's actually against the rules of On the Porch. On the Porch, there's no rules about what you can and can't talk about. You just talk about whatever.
Because this is just like what we would be talking about if we were actually in person or on the phone.
Right.
So,
yeah.
But man, since we're talking about, we're in the wildlife portion of the show. Man, it was about a week ago, and I guess it was a full moon or almost full moon, but it was a clear night. So I like to take my motorcycle and go riding.
Right.
Up here, and I didn't do it in Nashville because it was so crazy.
Yeah.
But up here, you can just ride and never even see another car at night. If you go like at 10, 11 o'clock at night, man, you got the whole road, and it's just peaceful, and it's just nice, and it's cooled down. So I do that, and so I have these spotlights on my motorcycle. I got a Harley. It's got your center light, and it's got two on the side of it. You turn those on, and it lights up the fields on the side. Everything. So you can see if a deer was going to run across the road. And so I was going down 127, about 50 miles an hour. I slow it down at night because I'm scared a deer's going to run out in front of me.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So I'm looking for those, and man, something ran out of the bushes, and it was black. And it scared me. I about jumped off the bike, man, going down the road. It was black, and it ran out. I won't say it's a cat, but it was bigger than a cat. But it was black or really dark brown or something. It was dark. But I was looking way ahead and, had my head up, and I was looking to the sides. I wasn't looking right down at my feet. And this thing run out within a few feet of the motorcycle. And I was going like 50. And it turned around and ran back as fast as it ran out. It just darted out and then darted back in. Scared the bejesus out of me, man. Because I thought it was like something trying to bite my leg, because I wasn't paying attention to it. So I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was some sort of a bobcat, or it couldn't have been a dog, man, because it changed directions so fast.
Right.
Coming out and back in. But I about jumped off the bike, man.
Oh, man.
But I was kind of, because I kind of stay on the main roads when I ride at night like that, because I used to like going and riding the back roads and at night, because it's just pretty cool. But dude, it gets foggy up here, and going through those mountains, I got to think about Bigfoot. Because I'm like, man, if there was ever a place that Bigfoot lived, the Big South Fork, in the Upper Cumberland up here where we live, there'd be a Bigfoot here, because there's places here. I mean, there's hiking trails and stuff, backpacking trails, but other than that, you look at a map, and there's nothing, just it's the terrain's really rugged up here. And I got to looking around, and I found a map. I sent you. Do you have that?
Yep, I have that.
It has the Bigfoots, all the Bigfoot sightings. And you see right there where Tennessee's supposed to be.
No, I don't see Tennessee at all, Ken.
No. And so I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna stay off those back roads, man. Cause,
looks like they don't hang out at Atlanta or Nashville. So
right, Atlanta's probably too dangerous for them. And Nashville, actually, now.
Yeah,
but yes, so I got thinking about that, and I'm like, man, if there's ever any place I'm gonna see a Bigfoot, my luck would be back here. I'd break down somewhere, midnight. And one would come stumbling off the side of a hill somewhere. So so I don't ride back roads at night anymore.
Well, if you see one, could you at least kill it so we know if it's real or not?
Dude, if I see one, I'm gonna run it down, man.
Yeah,
on the motorcycle. I might get hurt, but I'll go down in history as.
Yeah, it's fun. It's funny you say that. Here where I live in Scott City, Missouri, population 4,500. We have a little city museum, and they have a Bigfoot footprint in the museum that was taken locally.
Oh, do they?
There's a lot of legends of Bigfoot around here. In fact, they used to
Mm.
call him the Yahoo Man, and in sightings and stuff like that. I hadn't heard of any for a long time, but it was pretty big folklore
The
around there
Yahoo
for a little
man.
bit.
I
So
never heard that.
yeah, and in fact, that we had um, there was a road, Perkins Springs Road, I believe, and at one point, Perkins Springs Road ran under um, the railroad tracks. We got a railroad bridge that crosses the Mississippi into Illinois,
Mm.
and um, but before you get to the bridge, the Perkins Springs Road used to run under the railroad tracks, and there was just a little bit of a tunnel under there. Probably the tunnel was probably not more than 25 or 30 feet long. It wasn't very long at all, and they used to call it the Yahoo Bridge. And supposedly, if you went out there on like Friday the 13th at midnight, which everybody got wrong because Friday the 13th at midnight isn't Friday going into Saturday, it's Thursday going into Friday.
Right.
But,
Yeah.
so everybody was just 24 hours late. So, but apparently, if you went to the Yahoo Bridge at on Friday the 13th at midnight and said Yahoo Man 3 times, apparently he'd come out and try to get you or something. So,
Mm. I would have had to try that.
yeah. Well, when I was a teenager and could try it, they actually ended up shutting down that road, and you could only get there by walking, and it's privately owned now, so you
Okay.
can't really get
All
back
right.
there anymore.
Well, if I ever see a Bigfoot up here, I'll be sure that you'll be the first one to know. We'll
Yeah,
break the news on
yeah,
the porch.
yeah, yeah. We'll do that because I always thought, man, all these people get their cameras and stuff out. How about a gun? How about a bow and arrow? You
Yeah.
know, let's I don't want to kill something, but this has been a legend since Leif Erikson. Was it Leif? Yeah,
Mhm.
Leif Erikson, the Viking.
Yeah.
And even before that, with the a lot of the indigenous people in North America, and
Yeah.
so it's like, let's get this one solved. It's one of my favorites. I always root for Bigfoot to be real. And
Yeah.
so
Well, you know, my son's got a buddy, and he's a straight up, straightforward guy,
uh-huh.
and he lives south of Nashville, almost to Alabama, and he swears him and his girlfriend saw Bigfoot once. I
Yeah,
mean, he'll swear up and down, look at you right square in the eye, and not even blink, man.
yeah, yeah.
He said they were riding down their road. They lived kind of in the country, and
Hmm.
they were riding down this road and field, and he looked. His girlfriend said, "What's that?" And he looked over, and they both swear it was a Bigfoot running
Yeah,
kind of along with the car, but out in the field.
yeah, yeah. I mean, they have fossil evidence of what could be Bigfoot. That gigantic Pithecus or whatever, North American great ape, big monkey, not monkey. Monkeys and apes are different. Big, giant ape that used to live in North America. They do have fossil evidence of that
Did
in
they?
North America and like um, Tibet and Nepal and stuff. Where the abominable snowman. Same
Yeah,
Yeti,
yeah.
same kind of thing. In fact, I
Mm-hmm.
remember seeing a documentary where there was these monks in Tibet or Nepal or something claimed to have like the scalp of the Yeti and stuff. And of course, they were real leery of letting people look at it and all this and that. And this one documentarian guy, like, you know, coaxed them into letting him see them and stuff. And he like sneakily took hair samples without them knowing
Mm-hmm.
and went and tested it and was yak hair. And,
Uh,
and so when he went back to ask them about it, he's like, they were like, do you think we would really give you the real scalps of the Yeti?
yeah,
It's like, so I don't know if that was a great cop out answer or what that was, but
yeah. It was a good comeback anyway.
yeah, yeah. So then he just left the question still,
Mm-hmm.
do they still have it or not? So
Yeah, yeah.
but, yeah.
Well, Did you do any garage selling or anything like that this
Well,
week?
speaking of looking for stuff that's hard to find, that's treasures. Now, me and Ken were talking about this. Everybody listening, we got our picture time where we show stuff, and we talk a lot about the things we find. We almost need a name for that segment. Like, I don't know, like I can't even think of an example that's even bad. Like findings and treasures, or treasures and findings, or treasure hunt, or I don't know, something a lot better than that, because those examples
Yeah.
are horrible. But
Maybe our viewers can and listeners can
yeah,
help us name a
yeah,
new section of
yeah.
the
Well,
podcast.
I don't have a picture. I have it here in front of me for a whole $2. I found this book, Ken. We're big readers.
Yeah.
And, but this is a 1968 Charlie Brown. If I get it in camera,
There you go. Oh, that's
yeah.
nice, buddy.
Here's your dog, or he's your dog, Charlie Brown. And
And what year you say it was?
1968. That's the only copyright inside the book. And it's just a children's book, but man, the illustrations are beautiful.
It's great, man.
And
it looks like it's in great shape too.
It's in perfect shape. I mean, it shows a little war here, but the colors are still vibrant and everything else. And for $2, it's worth having sitting around just to look at. But
Oh, buddy, I'd have bought that in a heartbeat for $2.
yeah, $2. And I found it was $4, twice as much money. I found an old glass. I don't have it upstairs. An old glass Mountain Dew bottle. I'd show a picture, but that's probably going to end up behind me somewhere here real soon anyway. So, yeah.
Well, you remember we were talking about ski.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that the drink ski? Well, my buddy Jeff, he sent me a picture. He has a ski bottle.
Really?
Over there. Yeah. I guess it's pretty old. I don't know. But you said they still make ski, right?
They still do. Yeah. In fact, I told you it was here, but the distributor here quit carrying it because he said it didn't sell very well. So they still sell it in the St. Louis area. So I'm gonna we're going to St. Louis before we come to your house, and I'm gonna grab some while I'm up there, and so I can bring you some. So
yeah, please do. That'd be great, man. I'd cherish that. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. So,
I haven't had one of those since my childhood, probably.
Oh, well, I love them. I don't drink them very much because my wife just brought me this. So, she walked it down here.
Oh, Mountain Dew.
Yeah. I love this old logo. I love this old logo that they got here.
Green bottle. Yeah.
Because you can tell from what I'm drinking, this logo's okay. I just like this big elongated M.
Yeah.
It reminds me of being a kid, but yeah, I love ski. They do make a diet ski, so if I find those, I'll grab those. But I can't drink sugary sodas.
Yeah,
my blood sugar go too crazy. But my son Alex is coming, and he will crack one open with you. Okay, he loves them too, so they are very good. So
that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Well, since we're talking about garage selling, I told you about this earlier. Let me see if I find it. As I collect vinyls.
Yep.
And I didn't go to a garage sale, but I went to Antique Mall. It's in Cookeville. That's about an hour away. And I stumbled across this because I've been looking for it. And we'll put all these pictures on social medias, but let's see here. Have I got it turned right? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Christmas Eve with Burl Ives.
Burl Ives. I love that. I love that cover. So great.
Yeah. Yeah. This is 1957.
Oh, wow. That's wonderful.
Yeah, I know it, man. And I started listening to it. I listened to the first side. I haven't listened to the second side yet.
Yeah.
But he's got songs on here, man, that I never even heard of. And I looked at them. The ones that I hadn't heard of are ones that he had written.
Yeah.
A lot of them.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool, man. I gave $12 for it. I didn't get a steal. And after I bought it, I looked up the values of it, and it said the low was $1.99 and the high was $99.
Right.
So, and the average was 10. So I gave a little bit above average, but that's the one I wanted because I had 4 other Burl Ives albums.
Right.
And I think, I'm not positive, but I think that's all that he had was 5. But I mean,
Okay.
he would do, a 1 or 2 songs on, a album where it have various artists on there.
Right.
But as far as just his own on
Full.
the album,
Yeah. Full
mhm.
album.
And that brings up something else, man. I'm going to do coming up. We're talking about riding a motorcycle. And I don't think I told you this yet.
Hey, Arnie,
Oh,
Doug.
yeah. Hey guys, how y'all doing
They're
tonight,
fine.
man?
And Johnny hopped in too.
Johnny
Hey,
Mags,
Johnny. Thanks.
Gene G, what's up, buddy?
Yep.
And so yeah, there he is.
Yeah.
So there's Holly. Okay. But yeah, and I just decided this today. I told my wife I'm not going to go before the 4th of July. My son's here till the 4th, but
Uh-huh.
we have a parade that we go to at Deer Lodge on the 4th of July. It's a great parade.
Mm-hmm.
But after that, I got to change oil and my motorcycle to get it all ready. But I'm going to go. I don't know if this is morbid or it's cool. I don't know. It's cool to me, so that's all that matters. I'm going to go to where Burl lives, where he's buried,
Oh,
and
yeah.
visit where he's buried. It's
That's
in
cool.
I think it's Hunt City, Illinois,
Okay.
or maybe it's Indiana. One of the two, I forget, because I just started looking today. But it's about
Uh-huh.
5.5 hours.
Okay.
But I just want to go. I don't know, man. I just feel a connection to that guy.
Yeah.
Not. I don't know. Maybe it's got something to do with, I don't know, Sam the Snowman, maybe.
Yeah. Well, you never know.
But I'm gonna go up there, and there's several other stops I'm gonna make.
Mm-hmm.
The first one before I get there, I'm gonna go through Tell City, Kentucky,
Uh-huh.
Tell, and there is a frost top. It's like a drive-in, like it's kind of like a Sonic or a Dairy Queen kind of, but it's
Right.
old school. There's only 7 of them left in the country, and they were really popular after World War II.
Right.
And when they had the Route 66 and all that was really happening, they were all across the country. But then you just don't see them very much. There's only 7. There's one there. There's one in Huntington, Virginia. One down in La Crosse, Louisiana.
Right.
I forget. They're scattered around, but there's only
Yeah.
7 of them, and one of them is 25 minutes out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go there. They're really cool, man. If you look up, you see who's that? Sam Snowman Connection.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it, buddy. And
Yeah.
yeah, Burl Ives reminds me so much of my childhood, man.
Yeah.
I mean, how could you not if you ever watched
Yeah.
Rudolph?
Well, let me know when you plan that because I just looked it up. It's in um, Willow Hill, Illinois. It's like 3.5 hours from me.
Well, dude,
Yeah.
it'll be right after the 4th of July,
Okay.
but we'll try to plan it when you can go.
Yeah.
I don't really want to go on the weekend though.
No. Yeah.
Because if you can swing that, I don't know if you can or not.
Yeah. Look, I don't know if I'll be able to do it that quick because 4th of July is my day off, and then that's my 6-day week after that. Then I got plans on that Monday off. And then my Tuesday off, I think, is right the Tuesday before we come out to your place. So I might not be able to make it out there with you that quick. But that's fine. You go and do
Well,
that.
I don't know. We'll talk about it. We'll get it figured out.
So,
But I want to go there and go to, go visit that because I looked it up. He's got a picture of him on his headstone. I mean, I don't know, man. I just think
that's cool.
I mean, just want to sit there and talk to him a minute, man. Tell him how much I enjoyed his singing and everything he's done over the past.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's good. That's not morbid at all. That's that's remembering things. It's always good to,
I mean, I'm starting to tear up now just thinking about it. So I better talking about it. But on the way back, man, I'm going to go east to Santa Claus, Indiana.
Yeah.
It's about an hour, a little bit more than an hour away, Santa Claus, Indiana, and go to, they have a Santa's candy castle there and a Christmas store there. So I'm going to go go do that. And then from there, it's about 3.5 hours straight south back to Jamestown.
You can go
But
Holiday
yes,
World and ride some roller coasters.
no, I can't do all that, man. I'd get sick as a dog riding a roller coaster.
And then Holiday World is a very nice place to go ride
Have,
rides and stuff.
have
Yes.
you been there?
Yeah, a couple times. We love it.
Okay, all
So
right.
yeah, it's well worth it.
Well,
Yeah.
well, man, yeah. Let's plan that. We'll work that out.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I don't know if we can do it as that. I don't know if I can do it that fast, but I don't want to stop you from doing it when you want to.
Yeah. Well, I'll do it twice,
So
man. Be fine.
yeah, yeah. Speaking of Christmas finds, I was going to tell you about this the other day on the phone. You told me not to save it for the episode, but I paid up for this at a yard sale, but well, it was $20, and I call it paying up at a yard sale, but it was for my mom's church for a fundraiser. So, but it's the 12 days of Christmas nutcrackers.
Oh man, look at that, buddy.
Yeah.
Woo.
Now the wooden case, you can tell at the top is not in the best shape. The nutcrackers are in perfect shape, but the case isn't in the best shape. So I'll either have to refinish that one or make a new one. But
Man, I gotta get closer. Hold on, I'm gonna.
yeah,
If you're watching on YouTube, you're gonna see my big.
I can probably blow it up a little bit if I can get this projector.
So how
Adjusted.
how tall are those?
The nutcrackers are about maybe about 4 inches or so. And,
Oh, that's cool, man.
and they're actually, I'll blow it up a little bit here.
There you go. There you go.
And, it's actually from Sam's. It's actually Members Mark brand, but I just thought the nutcrackers were so cool, and being in 12 days of Christmas, like I said, the top of the case of the shelf there is a little rough, and I can fix that or build a new one, but each nutcracker is in perfect shape. So yeah. But yeah, I paid 20 for that. I got a couple other things for $20, but nothing, that included, but you know, but that's mainly what I bought. But he's studying them. Did you freeze up? He might have froze up, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see. But let me get us back to the other one there. Yep, he froze up on us. That happens sometimes. He'll call back here in a second. But yeah, I paid up for that, and I love. It's going to go with my nutcracker collection, which we had to expand out a little bit. It's going to be taking over the entryway in our hall. But yeah, it's always fun to go find the Christmas stuff at yard sales and that. But it's kind of crazy. Let's see what we got going on here. Just this live YouTube. About said live television, but it's not quite live. Just a few show notes here. We were going to talk about the Monkees. There will be links to the Monkees Christmas songs we talked about last week in the description and show notes. And we're actually working on a special episode for the Monkees to talk about them. As far as like other podcasts go, Christmas Clatter is going to be returning on the 24th of July, just in time for Christmas in July. And so, yeah, Ken's a ghost. He's just a ghost out there, Gene. I guess his internet bogged down or something. I'm not exactly sure what happened there, but he'll be back here in a second. I have faith in him. He'll call back in. We'll get him up and stuff. I thought he was just really studying those nutcrackers. He was just really involved, in them and stuff. So, but yeah, it's just one of those things that happen when you're live here. But or maybe Bigfoot got him. Maybe Bigfoot's like, don't be out there telling my secrets out on the motorcycle trail or anything. But yeah, it's just kind of crazy how that happens sometimes. There's two things that you haven't gone live enough on YouTube that you need to happen before you could say you actually are a live streamer. One is have technical difficulties live that you have to handle, and the other is something we fortunately haven't had here on the porch yet, but I had it plenty on Christmas Clatter, and that's spam commenters. That's always a infuriating one. Hopefully, we haven't had any here because YouTube does a better job of trying to keep that stuff from happening. But yeah, it's just kind of one of those things. But yeah, I'm reading through the comments. So Arnie, Doug, you guys are doing some bang bang shrimp. That sounds pretty good. Yeah. So when I said bang bang shrimp, for some reason I thought of Love Shack by the B-52s. So yeah, or tornadoes. Tornadoes could have got us. That about did here a few weeks ago, a month or so ago. But yeah, but I guess bang bang shrimp is that bang bang sauce, that like orangey yellowish looking sauce stuff. I get all that stuff confused. I just kind of, I don't know what it's called. Ask Holly. I don't know what anything's called. And if I call it something, it's probably by the wrong name or I mispronounce it. And then if I mispronounce it and Holly corrects me, then the way I incorrectly mispronounce it will be how the way I pronounce it every time. So, yeah. Well, to be honest with you, I don't know a shrimp dish that isn't tasty, to be honest with you. Sweet chili sauce. Yeah, I'm on board. That's all you had to say. Sweet chili sauce. And I'm on board. But yeah, I hadn't heard from Ken yet. I was hoping everything's okay. He hadn't even texted yet. So probably power out or something, but he'll get it going. He might not be texting because he actually, if you don't know this, and this is a lot of insider baseball, he uses his phone for his camera, and he gets a great picture like that. And yeah, and so he's probably working through it. So yeah, this is a classic one I did. I was talking about a Highland cow one time, and I called it a Himalayan cow, and so from now on it's been a Himalayan cow all the time. So hey Ken.
Hey buddy, I got to see got something going on here, dude.
We'll fix you live on the air.
Was that on my end or your end?
I think it was on your end. I kept going here. So looks like you're using your laptop camera now.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can figure this out here.
Yeah. A good old the previous edition MacBook Air camera that was at 720. So
there you go. Did I get it? No. Well, shoot, I don't know what's happening, man, because it's showing. Let me see here. Hold on one more second.
Yeah.
We may have to finish out with just using this camera. I don't know. I go back to camo. Camo's looking good.
Yeah.
But then whenever I go to, all right, I may have to.
Do you select the camo and eCam there?
Yeah, like camo and eCam's not talking or something.
Yeah.
Let's see here. It should be the good camera. We'll just probably, that's all right, man. We just have to finish out with.
Yeah. We can finish out like this. It'd be fine. Especially for the people listening to the podcast.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
We'll just have to go with this.
Yeah. Well, I was just rambling on about anything I could think about, and I got talking
about.
Sorry, buddy. Don't be sorry, man. It happens.
I had to turn everything off,
and
then sign back on.
Yeah.
It came to this, so I don't know what's going on now.
Yeah. It's all right. Everybody here's real.
Everybody
here is just happy you're back. Yeah. We didn't know if maybe Bigfoot came and carried you away or what happened.
Well, I'm glad that didn't happen.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. No, if Bigfoot would have come by, you would have known about it by now.
Yeah. I was talking about how when I mispronounce something,
Mm-hmm.
um, it's that's what I call it the whole time. Holly gave the example. One time, I instead of saying Highland cow, I called it I thought it was a Himalayan cow, and so from now on, a Himalayan cow is
Yeah.
in my lexicon, and I will
Yeah.
always call them Himalayan cows. So,
Yeah.
because I was trying to cheer Taylor up one time, and I found a picture of a cow laying down, and so I typed Himalayan cow on there. You know, thought that was funny because it's like
Yeah.
the Highland cow, and she's like, I don't get it. And I'm like, yeah, you get it, Himalayan cow, and she's like, I don't get it.
Mm.
And I thought she was aggravating me by saying she didn't get it. I'm like, the cow with the bangs in front of its eyes. And she goes, a Highland cow? I'm like, oh, I'm the one that got it wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, aren't those cows beautiful, man?
I don't know. Are they tasty?
I don't know, man, but they're if I had a farm, I would have a couple of those
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. So they
What
are
is it?
cool.
When
Yeah. When
something around
Doug,
here gets mispronounced by
it's
Doug, it becomes a
Dougism.
Dougie. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Doug's got quite a few Dougisms.
yeah. And one that I really drive Holly crazy with, instead of saying abyss, I say abisque.
The bisque.
Abisque.
Oh, man, did I ever tell you about when Mary and I first got married? We went into this really fancy restaurant, and they brought out the dessert menu, and it was like wasn't our first anniversary. It was probably our second or third. And I went to college. Mary went to college. We figured we'd know how words are supposed to be pronounced. We ordered. We got ready to order dessert, and we said, "What is this lemon meringue pie?" And that's what I said. And Mary said, "Let me see it. I don't know. I've never had that before." She looked at it. And she said, "Meringue, lemon meringue pie." And we both looked at each other and like, "Oh my God! I hope nobody heard us say it. I hope nobody heard us say that." Because we were just instead of meringue.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, that's a Southern coming out in
Yeah.
me, man. Meringue pie."
We used to have this little grocery store here in town, and years ago, I heard this younger guy. He asked one of the people stocking the shelves there, where the Bologna was.
Bologna.
Yeah, where the Bologna was, and the guy was like, "What Bologna?" It's like, "Where's the Bologna?" It took him a minute to figure out what he was saying. It's like, geez. So,
well, that. I call it that just out of being funny sometimes. Have a good
there you
Bologna
go.
sandwich.
There you go. Thank you. Thank you,
A
Arnie
deep
and Doug.
bottomless hole
filled with soup.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Yeah. Bottomless bread bowl filled with soup. There you go. Get a good potato soup in a bread bowl. Can't beat that.
What time is it? How long was I off air, man?
I don't even know. Just a few minutes.
Sorry about that, because I updated everything. I updated, before when I first turned on tonight, said I had an update on Ecamm. So I did that, and now it's updated, and then we had a glitch.
Well, I just appreciate you letting me be the best looking one on the show this time. So
that's not hard to do, man. It's not hard to do. But hey, since we're talking about this, I gotta say this, man, because we talked about, we hadn't talked about music yet. And we mentioned a couple weeks ago we were going to talk about the Monkees, and we never have.
Right.
Yeah, but the reason being though is because I have a friend that's he's an expert on the Monkees, and I think I mentioned that before.
Yep.
And I'd really like to get him, if nothing else, call in and let him talk to us about the Monkees, because they're really, if you're my age, you remember seeing them on TV when you was a kid, the little comedy show, and they were just pretty much thrown together. And I think maybe only one of them was a musician. I think but Craig could tell us. Mm-hmm. And they learned to play, and they could actually sing. And the longer they were together, they actually learned to play their instruments and became pretty darn good.
Yeah.
They had some good hits. But since this is Christmas in July, man, Craig had shown me a video, and if you don't mind, if you could put the link to it,
Uh-huh.
at least after in the show notes or
Yeah,
whatever.
I definitely will put it in the show notes for sure.
But it's hold on, let me put my specs on, man. But it's the Christmas song that we all know and like so well.
Right.
But they do really good at it, man. It's almost like a country song because it has a lot of pedal steel
You're right.
in it, and it's really good and they harmonize well. But it's a video as well too, like a cartoon video. And whenever I say cartoon video, you're like, man, I don't want to waste my time watching a cartoon of the Monkees. But it's really good, man. It is so creative and
Right.
colorful, and it is fun to watch. It's about a 3.5-minute song, I think.
Right.
But anyways, that's a good one, man.
Yeah.
That's really worth your time to go there
Yeah.
and see that. And then see, was there another one? Oh yeah, and just another video that I found.
Yeah.
And this is a cappella. This is a song, and they sing it in Spanish, dude. And to show you how they can harmonize so well. But it's called Riu, and another word is Chiu, Rio Chiu. I don't know how you would say that
Yeah,
in
I would.
Spanish,
Yeah, I don't. I
but
wouldn't
it
know.
is. But I mean, there's nothing there that they can hide behind.
Right.
Nothing they can hide behind. So it really shows their harmony.
Uh-huh.
And they're singing it in Spanish, and that's really good too. But it's a
Yeah.
video. It's a video. That's an actual video of them singing. That's not a cartoon.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
anyways,
I'm getting everything all
but
mixed up here.
that's all right, buddy. You could just look up the Monkees video, the Christmas song.
Uh-huh.
Is
Yeah, I put the link in the comments there for one of them. I couldn't get the other one. It was going
Okay.
crazy on me. But yeah, I listened to both of them, and both of them were really, really good. It was kind of nice to hear, actually. But yeah, I look forward to that. Hopefully, we can do that pretty soon and talk about the Monkees in real depth. I'd like to get into the history. I've heard like bird's eye view stories of them and things, but but to get someone that really knows it would be cool.
Buddy, man, he knows. He should have been one of the Monkees. He likes them so much.
Well,
but Craig was a musician too.
Yeah,
and if he talks as highly as he talks about them, you have to stop and take notice and rethink about the Monkees.
Yeah. It's always good to hear people talk about something that they're really passionate about.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, even if it's something that you have zero interest in, because their passion and their enthusiasm is really contagious.
Yeah.
Well,
he I don't know how many times he's seen the Monkees, but Mike Nesmith, he was the bass player, wasn't he?
Yes.
All right. He's since passed. And there's only one of them left, Mickey Dolenz. I think is the only one that's left alive, that's still alive.
Right.
But with Mike Nesmith, he was, you could do this thing where you could pay to do a Zoom call with him for like 30 minutes or an hour. I think it's an hour maybe.
But
his wife got Craig that for his birthday. Totally surprised him. So he had to sit down. So I like to let him tell the story on that, So
oh yeah, that would be wonderful.
He got to talk with Nesmith, on the Zoom, and he put it out there for everybody to see. I like to go back and watch it again, but they were talking about songs and people and stuff that didn't even sound like, to me, it didn't sound like they were talking about the Monkees. They just had such a big catalog of stuff that people don't realize.
Yeah.
But anyway, that was pretty cool. Man.
Yeah. So if you could sit and Zoom with somebody, like that for 30 minutes, who would you pick?
Elvis.
How about someone living?
I don't know, man. I kind of enjoy talking to you, buddy.
So I should start charging you.
Yeah, I don't know about that now. Let's see. Who could I sit and talk with? Darn. It's alive?
Yeah.
I don't know, man, because, all the country music people and all that growing up and living in Nashville, that entertainers don't really, well, I don't know. I'd have to think about that. Do you have one off the top of your head?
Yep. I actually do. Mick Foley.
Who's that?
He
Am I
was a
supposed to know him?
only if you know professional wrestling.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
he's a Hall of Fame professional wrestler. He used to go by Cactus Jack and Mankind,
Mm-hmm.
and he's highly entertaining. And he's also a professional Santa Claus. He's a big Christmas nut.
Okay.
And me and Holly a few years back got to go see his one man show. He's long retired now. He does a one man stand up show where he basically just tells wrestling stories, and it's hilarious.
You in wrestling, dude.
Yeah, it's hilarious. And we got to get in line and get his autograph and get our picture taken with him and stuff. And super good guy.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, he had a Christmas album where he tells a story, reads a story, and that he wrote for his son, and he signed that album. And he's got a documentary about Santa Clauses. Can't remember the exact name of it, but it's about people who are professional Santa Clauses, and it's really good. And in fact, I gave him a Christmas card and I put an invitation on there for him to join me on Christmas Clatter, but I haven't quite heard back from him yet. So, but he's anytime there's any kind of wrestling documentary or anything, he's always interviewed because he's one of the few guys that stayed away from all the drugs and alcohol and stuff. So he did, physically he's wore out, but mentally he's solid as a rock. Probably, unless he got a lot of concussions and stuff. So, but yeah, he was fantastic.
Solid as the rock.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, folks that's listening, Gene and Pepper Tree, how about you guys? Is there
Holly's saying
anybody
she wants to talk to Dolly.
Oh, Dolly.
Dolly Parton.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that. I've been delivering a lot of the books she mails out lately. I just now noticed that, she got that library thing where she gets free books. I've been delivering a lot of those lately. It's just like all of a sudden there's like this influx of these books she's mailing to kids, which is cool. Super cool.
Yeah. Oh, she does so much for people.
Yeah.
She is so unselfish and does so much good.
Yeah.
So much good.
So, yeah.
But I don't know, man. I just to talk to him, I don't even know.
Well, see some of the thing you have growing up, being a part of that, being right there in the middle of Nashville for so long, you've had so many bump-ins with people. Probably some of that luster's gone,
It is, man. Like you used to see Johnny Cash all around. I mean, just all of them. They were, because back then Nashville wasn't so big, and everybody that was in Nashville lived in Nashville, and they knew to leave them alone, and so you didn't make a big deal over them.
Yeah.
Now they would get mobbed.
Yeah. See, I've never bumped into a celebrity out and about ever. And that's just because they don't come around here. We do have some Cardinal baseball players that come down to our area to play at one of the golf courses we have because it's real nice.
Yeah.
And then Morgan Freeman's seen here a lot because his girlfriend is from this area, so they come in to visit her family, and he's seen at restaurants a lot. Mm-hmm. And then other than that, of course, Cape Girardeau, which is just a few miles north of here, that's the home of Rush Limbaugh. When he was alive, he was here a lot. Call him a celebrity. Sheryl Crow's from my area, about an hour south, but never see her around here. So but I just never, never bumped into any of them anywhere. So
I don't know, man. I never really thought about that. There's not a whole lot of people I mean, if you don't know them, it's like
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
Well,
like
the other thing is knowing me, um, I would I would probably get on a plane next to a celebrity and not really realize who they are, and they probably
right.
think that's the coolest guy to sit next to. He ain't bothering me, and I hadn't put two and two together. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
Gene wants to talk to Wayne Brady, which would be great. I love Wayne Brady, so you know who that is.
Man, no.
He's a comedian. He does the new Let's Make a Deal. He was on Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Jimmy
Yeah.
Fallon. Jimmy Fallon's hilarious too.
Yeah, Jimmy Fallon would be
Yeah.
good, but I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
That's a hard one. I'd really have to, because all the people I'd like to talk to is probably passed.
yeah. Someone I'd like to talk to, speaking of Jimmy Fallon, would be Questlove, the drummer from The Roots. That's part of his house band. He made that documentary from that. I think it's on Hulu. Can't remember the name, which is terrible. But it's about that big musical festival in Harlem in '68, and it's really good. Everybody needs to check it out for sure and watch it. Let me find the name of it. Summer of Soul. That should have been easy to remember. Yeah, and it's it's available on Hulu. It's available several places: Hulu, Disney Plus, and then you can rent it other places. But yeah, it was recorded, and all the footage from it was like just tucked away somewhere. And he grew up in Philly and in that area, and he kept hearing about the same year that everybody knows about Woodstock, and and Questlove always heard these rumors. Well, the same summer they had Woodstock, there was this big, African American music festival in Harlem that had more people. And it lasted longer because it was like every weekend and stuff, but it was just rumors, and it's like, yeah, it happened, but there was no footage. Well, apparently the promoter or something had NBC film it, but something happened, and so they just shelved all the film, and the guy that had it, I think, passed, and then his wife came across it, and then somehow was able to get it to Questlove, and he made this wonderful documentary about it, and it's worth watching because there's a lot of old musical bands performing there, and they really get into like how big some of these acts were, and at the time, and kind of what made them unique. In fact, there was one, because I'm a big Motown fan. There's one clip where you see this guy, he's just absolutely just stoned out of his mind. I can't remember the name of him, but I recognized him from another documentary called The Funk Brothers, Standing in the Shadows of Motown, about the studio band, the Funk Brothers for Motown Records. And it was one of the keyboard players from the Funk Brothers, and he was just there enjoying the music and having a good time. And it's like, oh my gosh, it was so cool. But yeah.
The Funk Brothers.
Yeah. Yeah. Saw Rainn Wilson sitting on a plane. I didn't realize it was Dwight sitting next to him. That's hilarious. That's fantastic. Yeah. That reminds me of the guy that fell asleep at a bar, and then Tom Hanks like slid into the booth next to him and put his arm around him and had his picture taken on that guy's phone.
Oh, really?
He passed out. So,
yeah. I wonder how surprised that guy was.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. But yeah, if you guys haven't seen Summer of Love, it's a great musical documentary. Lots of good music in there and real interesting, really good. So it's worth a watch.
Well, man, I was looking through, talking about the music. I was looking through some videos because I like jazz. I really like jazz trios. But I ran across a guy named, he's a saxophone player, Eddie. And the reason I'm saying this because of his name. He has a great nickname. But his name is Eddie Lockjaw Davis. And he's a saxophone player. Yeah. But so that got my interest just whenever I saw it. So I started listening to him. So think I'm gonna try to find an album by
Yeah.
him if they're out there. I really hadn't looked yet,
Yeah.
but it's but he was really good with the sax.
Yeah.
But that's a great name though, isn't it?
It is a great name. I guess they called him Lockjaw. Was it? What did you say it was? Davis.
Yeah, Eddie Lockjaw Davis.
I guess because Eddie Tetanus Davis doesn't roll off the tongue as well, you know. So,
Yeah,
so
man, what's the name of that? A good trumpet player that has a nickname. His name Shorty.
Trumbo Shorty.
Trombone Shorty.
Shorty, yeah. I just listened to him the other day. I love Trombone Shorty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love all those the New Orleans, the jazz bands and stuff. I know they're not trios, but
yeah,
they're pretty darn amazing, man.
Horns just make you happy.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Big bands and horns and that stuff. Horns just make you happy. It's hard to play I guess you do play a sad song with horns, but for some reason they're just more happy than anything.
Yeah, yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, Gene. Dave Brubeck, definitely, man. I got him on. I've actually got him on a Pandora station with Dave Brubeck.
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. So.
Yeah, yeah. I love horns and the jazz and I like it when you don't have to listen to somebody sing.
Yeah.
I like just the music a lot of time.
Yeah.
Pretty soothing to me.
Yeah. There was this Christmas album by this band called the Alley Cats. It was a big band. And for the longest time, it was, there were some songs with some vocals in there, but it's mostly instrumental. And for the longest time, it was my tradition to play it first when I started decorating because it was just so fun, you know.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
And do you like big bands?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You know, where they would stand behind each instrument would stand behind. They have a little podium. Have you ever seen that?
Yep.
I guess they would be where they put their music on and stuff.
Yeah.
But those were cool, man. You see them in movies. There was actually a band in Nashville. God, I forget the name of them now. But that's what they were.
Yeah.
They were a big band. I got to see them perform a couple times.
Yeah.
But they just play. They were so good, man. But they never played any big places. It was just always just medium sized.
Yeah. A few Christmases back, me and Holly went to the university, watched the Southeast Missouri State Big Band play a Christmas special, and it was really good.
I bet that was.
Yeah, and in fact, I saw a thing that Cape Girardeau has a community band that's like a big band, and they're going to be playing some free shows. I need to get the schedule, see if I can make a few. That'd be fun to go see.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I love that music.
Yeah, I do.
Different era.
Yeah, well, I mean, I got a Michael Bublé album up above my shoulder there. You know, so
I see that. You must have swapped your albums out.
I swapped them out. I got the Creepy Doll Dean Martin album cover up there.
Man, what is up with that, dude? I've seen that before.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure what that's about, but it was too creepy not to get.
Why would he do that?
It's Dean Martin. I don't know.
Speaking of him, man, he's from Steubenville. Is it Ohio?
Yes.
Is that where it is?
Yeah.
Man, I'm definitely doing this year. I'm going up to see the life-size nutcrackers that's around town. They have like 200 of them. It's one guy that's made them all. Life-size nutcrackers. They're around town. They have parades. They have a lot of stuff that goes on around that.
Oh yeah.
You know, whenever they officially open for the season. So
yeah.
I'd really like to go see that.
Yeah, that'd be super cool.
That's a pretty good little drive.
Yeah.
I like Dean Martin too.
Yeah. Can't go wrong with Dino. He's another one. You just put him on, it makes you happy.
Yeah. See, all the people that I'd really like to talk to is passed.
Yeah.
I think.
Well,
I don't know.
I'll figure out someone that you want to talk to.
I got to think about that, man.
Jack Black. You want to talk to Jack Black?
No, dude, I don't like him, man. I don't like him. I talked to Jack White before when Loretta had a show in Nashville. It was her birthday. We got to go. We were backstage, and that was Jack. Jack White was a friend of hers because they did an album together.
Uh-huh.
Something Rose, I forget the name of it. But anyways, they did an album together. So I got to talk with him and actually hang out a little bit. He was a really cool dude.
Yeah, seems like it.
You know who Jack White is?
Oh yeah, from the White Stripes.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the Raconteurs,
Uh-huh.
or Raconteurs, however you say that. Man, that band is awesome. That's another band he had. But yeah, he's tall, man.
Oh yeah.
He's taller than I was. Yeah.
Yeah. He's one of the few people actually pressing vinyl still.
Yeah.
I remember Adam Savage used to be Mythbusters. He has his own show now. I think it's called Test It. I think he's got an episode where he goes to Jack White's factory where he presses the albums to see how it's done, and it's super cool.
Yeah. Man, do you know that, I don't know if I've talked about this on the show or not. I may have talked to you about it. He actually owns Elvis's very first record.
Oh, really?
Did I tell you that?
Yeah. You told me, but you can tell me again. It's been a minute.
Yeah. He owns. It came up for sale, and the very first one that Elvis recorded was actually going to be for his mom.
Uh-huh.
And it was just the two sides, just one song on each side. And Elvis was so poor whenever they were growing up, they didn't have a record player.
Mm-hmm.
So Elvis took it to his friend's house from school, and because his friend had actually lent him money to go get this album recorded,
right?
Or this, not an album, but a record recorded. And so they recorded, and he took it over there. And Elvis didn't have anything to listen to it on at his house, so he just left it with him. And then it wasn't long after that, he got to recorded Hound Dog and no, not Hound Dog. What was his first one? That's All Right, Mama.
Yep.
He came out with that one, and Blue Moon in Kentucky was on the opposite side. And so then he just skyrocketed and took off after that. It was about a year before he went on the Ed Sullivan Show. But so he just left that record. I don't know if he forgot about it or just left it with his buddy. And it was up in the attic. And his buddy just hung on to it. Well, Elvis died. And then a couple of years ago, his buddy sold it. It was his retirement, and put it out there, auction, it was a real thing. And Jack White bought it.
Oh, wow.
And so Jack White has it, and Jack White has a little store there, and it's called it's called Three something. I can't remember the name of it now. It's been a while since I've been there. But from time to time, it'll be on display in there, or there's a museum there in Nashville at the lower level of the municipal auditorium.
Okay.
And sometimes it's on display there. But anyway, so Jack White owns that.
That's cool.
And then what he did, he had record day at his shop, and he pressed. It was like 100 of those things.
Uh-huh.
There was an exact copy of that album or that record of Elvis's, all the way down to the worn parts on the label. It was exactly like it. So I was able to get my hands on one of those.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Yeah, I got it.
That is cool.
Yeah, I got that. That's in my collection.
Yeah, that's super cool.
But it looks old and everything. It's got the scratches. He's got everything. It's just a direct, recording of it.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Nice. Did Elvis get better from that recording?
Oh yeah, man. He was that was his first one. I think it might have been Old Chef was on one side. That was a song about a dog, and one that he had like a love song that he sang for his mom.
Yeah,
and he didn't like the way he sounded actually when he went and heard it.
Yeah,
I think that's one reason that he left it with his buddy, because he didn't really like the way that he sounded.
Right,
but it sounded good to me. He was just so young at that point.
Yeah. Jeans want to know if you remember Bill Anderson.
Whispering Bill, don't like him, buddy. I don't like that guy. That's the most non-singingest dude on the planet. I'm sorry, man. Whispering Bill. That's the reason he whispers, because he can't sing, dude. He's a heck of a songwriter now.
Yeah.
He is he's written so many hits. But I grew up listening to him, and yeah.
I'm gonna have to listen now. Got my curiosity. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's a non. I guess he made it because he's songwriting.
Yeah.
See, his band was called Po Boys. See, was it Po Boys? Yeah, with Bill Anderson, his band was called the Po Boys. Poboys.
Yeah.
So see, I'm full of.
So you worse than Bob
I'm
Dylan?
full of. Woo! I'd rather listen to Bob Dylan than Whispering Bill.
All right.
At least at least he sings. Whispering
Yeah.
Bill. I just grew up listening to him, man. Heck of a songwriter. He's had hits for everybody.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's the reason he whispers.
Maybe that's what I should have done.
He talks during the songs, and what's that called? That actually has a name for it.
Yes, and I'm not a fan of it at all.
No, I mean,
Even when Elvis did it, I'm like, at least Elvis has got a smooth voice, but it's just kind of.
Well, Elvis didn't do it. Elvis did it to kind of add, I guess, drama to the song.
Yeah, it was to add drama, you know.
Yeah, but Bill did it because it's like, okay, there's some high notes coming up, so I'm gonna whisper. I'm gonna talk about this now because just can't hit those notes. So we're gonna talk. We're gonna get down real quiet so you can listen.
Anyway. Strategic. So
Yeah.
Hosted a game show called The Better Sex on ABC. Yeah, that was in 1976. I bet that was interesting.
Yeah.
So, boy, those 1970s game shows are cringy to watch now, the way those hosts act. So, yeah, real cringy. But, well, Ken, I guess it's about time for us to head out. I want to thank everybody for joining us here. And remember, you can send us a fan mail. If you're listening on a podcast app, just go to the show notes description and just say, send us a message or something like that. Text us. And you can send us fan mail. And Dan and Mike was the guy from Cocoa, Florida. And I sent you guys emails requesting your addresses so I can get your Willie Nelson albums out in the mail. And remember, guys, if you go on Apple Podcasts or any podcast app that lets you rate and review, if you leave us a rating and a review, let us know. And we will get you a sticker in the mail, a On the Porch sticker for your podcast sticker collection. You guys can always reach us at direct message on Instagram or Facebook, on the Porch Pod. And then, or you can just email us at joinusontheporch@gmail.com. We'll be back next week. And until then, guys, you guys have a safe and happy 4th of July. And Ken, take us home.
Okay, I want to thank everybody for listening tonight. And I do have a question about the title of that show. Was the Better Sex Game, was that a was that a question? I mean, was that a title about male and female who was the better sex, or
I believe
what was that show rated, man?
I would say it's more about gender than anything.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks everybody for listening to On the Porch with Todd and Ken, and we're gone.